Okay, guys, we are ready to graph quadratics in our last type of form, which we call standard form. And this looks like y equals little a x squared plus bx plus c. And we highlighted little a because that determines if I face up or down. And little c is going to represent what we call the y-intercept. So we're going to look at that here in just a few seconds. So let's actually graph this first example in our calculator. So we're going to go ahead and go to y equals and type it in. So we are a happy facing U, and now we're going to go to our table. So second graph. And we're going to make our list. Now notice we have some pretty big numbers going on over here. So we may want to make sure that we are going into some of our negatives as well. So it looks like our first point would be -1 and 11. So let's make our list of points. And once we plot our points from -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3, we're going to have that happy facing U shape or parabola. And now we can identify our key features. So notice this time we added in one more piece, the y-intercept. And we're going to get to that here shortly. So the vertex is my lowest point here on this function. So this will be our minimum. And our vertex is over 1 and up 3. So in our table, that's this point right here. And notice that point should be in the symmetry, right smack dab in the middle before you go back up. All right, now the zeros are where you touch the x-axis. So as I look, is this U ever going to touch this x-axis? Nope. So we're going to put none. I can't have any. But the y-intercept is where do I cross the y-axis on my U? And notice that I cross that y-axis up here at +5. And so that's kind of huge that this guy right here on our list, this is our y-intercept, where I touch the y-axis. All right, so let's try an example number 2. And it looks something like this. So first things first, from standard form, we're going to type it into the calculator. Be careful because this is a negative x squared. And then we are subtracting 8x, subtract 12. So be careful. We notice our U is upside down. It's sad. And now we can go into our table and list out our points again. So it looks like we're probably going to have to go up so that we can actually get some points on our graph here. So it looks like -6, 0 would be our best start. Once you have your list of inputs and outputs, it's time to plot the points. So once you plot your points, you'll make your upside down U, and now we can identify those key features. So our vertex halfway through our U shape, that looks to be the highest, which is our maximum. And that maximum occurs at over to the left 4, so -4, and it goes up 4. You could also see that in your table as you make your symmetry. Now the zeros, where do I touch the x-axis? Well, I touch this x-axis here at -6. And we also touch that x-axis at -2. So we have 2 x-intercepts or zeros or roots. And last but not least, let's talk about this y-intercept. I forgot to give a huge piece of information in the back here on number 1, that our y-intercept was at +5. And notice, guys, at the end of your equation, there's a +5. So it gives away what the y-intercept will be. That is kind of cool. So if we use that same idea, our y-intercept we actually didn't find yet because it still's going down and down and down and down. But we could use our equation, and if we follow suit, our minus 12 should be our y-intercept. Now, if you don't believe me, we can come back to our table, and there it is. 0, comma, negative 12 is in fact our y-int. Cool beans. Now it's time to practice with us.